We are back with another episode. This is week 20, and
Hell yeah.
the Montreal Canadiens are through to the Eastern Conference Finals. Miggy! Start us off with the NHL news.
So, first of all, with Montreal still being Canada's only hope, I do want to talk about a Canadian player that is showing that maybe he wasn't the problem in a specific franchise. I will not mention which franchise. I don't want to be depressed. But Mitch Marner is showing that he was not the problem at Leafs, and with everything that is happening right now with the Toronto Maple Leafs, with hiring their new GM, which I think is a mistake, but whatever. I'm not the one hiring. And then saying, oh yeah, Berube's a great coach, and then a week later firing said great coach.
Hey, look, man, I don't make the top of the line decisions, and apparently they shouldn't be either.
Yeah. You would know about office management moving and everything.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Vancouver Canucks, they went and hired that new general manager. They hired the Sedin twins, and then they went and fired a whole bunch of coaching staff. And
they fired Adam Foote after just one season.
So, but I mean, it makes more sense for the Canucks because they could just go into just a full-on blow-it-up rebuild.
Yeah.
Which I get, but the Leafs doing that, still having Matthews under contract and having the first overall pick, is a little weird.
Yeah.
Like that, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But Marner, not the problem.
Yeah, so how about we get into these conference final matchups? There is 4 teams remaining. One Canadian team, Montreal Canadiens, after winning another Game 7 by no other than Alex Newhook.
2 straight Game 7s where he makes the game-deciding goal.
Oh.
That guy, he's got the clutch gene.
Not only that, 2 Game 7s that Montreal shouldn't have won.
Not a chance.
And you know me, I am the most biased Montreal fan you know.
Now, mind you, this Game 7 was much closer than the previous one, but they still should not have won this.
Look, refs put their whistle away in Game 7. I counted them. There was 5 penalties Montreal should have had, and 4 penalties Buffalo should have had. The one Buffalo should have had was a little bit more severe, like freight training Dobish.
But I think, it makes up for the fact that they probably got a goal stolen from them.
Well, that was what I was kind of thinking, because they didn't get a penalty from trucking Dobish, and about 20 seconds later they scored.
Yeah, and then had it disallowed because the ref blew his whistle a little early, mind you. But to be fair, it's the correct whistle.
Yeah.
He saw Dobish get the puck. Ref lost sight of the puck. Did he blow his whistle a little fast? Sure, but it's still the correct
100%.
whistle.
Dobish did not have the control over that game. He looked lost. He couldn't find the puck. He was always looking everywhere.
And yet he still had a great game, though. He let in 2 goals on 35 shots.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't think the Game 7 was won because of Dobish. He made a lot of key saves, yes, but it's not the Dobish that we have seen in these series.
He had a lot of saves. He just didn't look as sharp.
Yes.
And as I told you earlier this week over text, I don't blame him for maybe losing some confidence in sort of Game 6 and Game 7.
Well, after that blowout,
Game 6 was rough.
Yeah.
Right? 8-3 loss is never good.
Yeah.
And then coming into Game 7, your team goes up 2-0, and then you let in 2 goals in pretty quick succession. Right? So, and he's a young goalie. He's 24. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that, his confidence and his sharpness kind of disappeared, especially at the tail end of Game 7. But he did enough.
Yeah.
So
speaking about goalies, I saw this fact, and I told you this fact also earlier. The combined annual salaries of the remaining 4 goalies combines to $7.125 million.
For this year?
For this year.
Okay, for the season. That's ridiculous. That's genuinely ridiculous.
If you have Hellebuck in there, it doubles. Shesterkin, it doubles. Unger, it doubles.
The most efficient contracts in the league.
Hands down. Now, if we go into these conference finals, Vegas versus Colorado. If there is one team I think that could beat Vegas, that isn't if
You mean beat Colorado?
yes, sorry, that can beat Colorado without it going to the Stanley Cup final would be Vegas. The only reason I'm saying that is because they kind of had a second upcoming,
Second win.
second win with Torts taking over as head coach. Now, a lot of people have choice words for Torts. He's strong-minded.
It's the guy that gives you the tough love and like it works, but you still hate him for it.
Yeah. Now the league also did just fine him $100,000 and made them forfeit their second-round pick
That's the other thing about
due to
the
the
Vegas
fact
Knights right
that
now.
he didn't go talk to media, which is not. It's in their contract that they have to talk to the
Yeah,
media.
well, there's the whole not talking to media. There's a whole bunch of other stuff
Yeah.
behind the scenes of talking to other players and other potential like signings
Yeah.
in this current time window where they're not allowed to. So Vegas screwed up a little bit in terms of their PR right now. So
Yeah. So honestly, I think this playoff is gonna depend on Marner and McKinnon.
the big M's.
Yeah. And yes, McCarr will play a fact, but I also think that Avalanche might have the most offense ready defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been watching, like, I've watched a couple of games. I've watched highlights of Vegas, and, like, their defense kind of looks lockdown defense.
The biggest thing about this series is that the Colorado Avalanche rely entirely on star power.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at their games, and this isn't me trying to diss their coach or anything, but you can tell by the way they play, they rely on their top guys making individual plays and creating off of that. Their set plays aren't as good as it could be. It's why their power play was so bad during the regular season.
Yep.
Their defense and their goaltenders are very good. It's just they suffer from a case of not being challenged as much by the opposing teams because of their star power out front.
Yeah.
So the thing that I worry about the Colorado Avalanche is if their best players play their best hockey, they'll be fine. But if Vegas is able to shut them down or not even, or if they can shut down their star players, Colorado looks vulnerable.
Yep. Now, we ship off to the other side of the coast, and you got Hurricanes versus Montreal. Now, I'm still running this high. I had 5 texts yesterday saying, how's your heart going? I said, what heart? Blood pressure through the roof, anxiety through the roof, stress through the roof.
Words spoken per hour, 0.
Nails, none.
Just going through it.
It was insane. I had barely any voice. You could ask Jay when the goal happened, like
I had to do a welfare check on the fucker.
yeah. And like I probably woke up the neighbors.
Yeah, well, they didn't come banging at the door, so.
But here's my issue with this matchup. Is yes, Carolina has had 12 days off in quotation marks because Brenda Moore has apparently put them through intense practices and all that stuff to keep them in these intense playoff modes because 12 days is a long time.
I mean, it is literally almost 2 weeks of no competitive hockey.
Yeah, so Brenda Moore has been pushing his guys. Like Seth Jarvis got asked in an interview, he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm tired, but it's gonna keep us sharp." So, yes, they had their 12 days off, but Brenda Moore's been running them like you have no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now you have Montreal that has played 14 games.
2 straight 7-game series.
14 games to Carolina's 8 game. There is a 6-game difference here. Montreal has more wear and tear. Carolina has less. Now, I think that kind of benefits Montreal because now they just won against the number 2 in the Atlantic, Tampa Bay, and then the number 1 in the Atlantic, Buffalo. Now they're going against number 1 in the Eastern, which they have a 3-0 record against in the regular season. Now this is playoffs, completely different beast. But on a kind of haha note, Hurricanes is cursed in the conference final.
This feels like a "you've activated my trap card" moment.
Yeah. Conference final has cursed Hurricanes. Since 2019, they are 2-12 in the conference final.
Yikes. That's not a good record.
Now, my dad keeps making the joke. I'm going to play it a game at a time. There's no way that the Hurricanes can sweep us.
I
Sweeping
want
three times in a row.
I want to correct you on that. There is no way that they should be able to sweep.
Exactly. If they do, they're in the history book.
Yeah, if they sweep, mind you, very hard thing to do just in the vacuum of this series alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, 12-0 to start the playoffs is historic.
If they do that, they deserve to win it.
Yeah. Oh no, just give them the Stanley.
Now, here's the other issue Carolina has. Carolina is going up against a nation. They are going against a population of people that bleed hockey. Carolina will have Montreal Canadian fans in their homes. I would like to see Carolina try to get into the Bell Center.
I mean, I get it, but you could say that for the last 2 series as well.
Yeah,
right.
But the Buffalo one, I was totally expecting Buffalo Sabre fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's close. The Tampa Bay Lightning, I was expecting it. Like, people make the joke. Carolina's a little further.
Okay, so what you're saying is that home games for Montreal should be 100% Habs fans. Is the point you're trying to make?
99.
I mean, the Bell Center was always going to be a tough place to play for opposing teams, regardless.
Yeah.
And I'm not concerned about those games for the Habs. What I am concerned about is the away games at Carolina. Because the thing is that as good as Montreal is and was during the regular season and has been during the playoffs, they have been the lower seed in all 3 of their series so far.
They're going to be the lower seed for every...
Exactly. So
actually,
in spite of them having a very good home ice, crowd and atmosphere, they are disadvantaged because of the fact that they will, in 7-game series, be playing 4 games away.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
But actually, if Vegas wins, I think we get the higher seed.
That is some what ifs that we could discuss in 2 weeks from now, brother.
Now, talking about playoffs, PWHL.
Before you go to that, though, just briefly,
let's rewind it back.
I want to talk a little bit more about the Hurricanes and Canadian series, because I want to go back to the 14 games played against 8 games played.
Yeah.
And something that I heard, or I either heard, no, I heard it. I heard it the other day, and I think it really epitomizes how these teams are going to go into this series with the different kind of wear and tear and whatnot. This series, if you had to put a label on it, would be the rested versus the rusted. You have a team that
I don't hate that.
You have a team that is well rested, but still hard practices, and you have a team that is not going to have any breaks and just go straight into the next game, essentially.
So they carry whatever momentum they have.
Exactly. And it is literally just a battle of those 2 things, right? As athletes, we understand the importance of sometimes if you're in a slump or whatever and you take 2 months off and just like for me, right? Like if I'm having a slump in basketball or something, there would be times where I take 2 months off. I wouldn't even touch a basketball, but then I come back, I'm playing great again.
Yep.
Right. Little bit different though with this because the Canadians are playing well, and they just need to continue playing well. But I guess my point is that it's going to be really interesting to see how like game one is going to be so important just to see how these teams kind of start this series and approach this series.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, that makes sense. Not only that, like I mentioned earlier, the wear and tear of Montreal could be a little bit of a pitchfork in the back, but at the same time, you mentioned momentum. Right now, Carolina has no momentum. If they played like 5 days after sweeping Philly, they'd still have the momentum.
Yeah.
But you're at 12 now.
Yeah. The other thing that is kind of beneficial to the Habs with this is that they have all of their lines have played and have played significant minutes, right? They haven't entirely leaned on their first and second lines, both their forwards and their defensemen. They are playing lines 1 through 4.
Yeah.
So none of their players, except for a couple of their like top guys like Suzuki and Slav and whatnot. Other than those guys, most of the Canadians players have played very comfortable amounts of minutes.
Game 6, Jack I only played like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But you're talking about your third pairing and then...
Right. And we're also talking about, 14 games in.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, on average, this Canadians team, they're not rested. Obviously not. They're going to be tired. But they're not as exhausted as you'd expect from a team who just came off of 2 game sevens.
I think they're going to ride the high.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that helps them. But, yeah, no, Montreal being backed by a whole nation is going to either help or break them.
Yeah.
Am I good to proceed,
yes,
Captain?
Yes. I am done on a rewind. You can talk about your PWHL.
All right. Again, Montreal. We're actually in the Cup final for the PWHL. It is the Montreal Victoire versus the Ottawa Charge. When I say steal, Montreal stole the first game. They scored with 2.7 seconds remaining in the third period, and then tied it up in overtime. Actually,
do you want to run that sentence by me again?
Can we do a rewind?
They tied it up in the third period with 2.7 seconds left,
and then
they forced overtime,
and then scored in overtime.
There you go.
First try.
No cuts.
Yeah, and then again brought it into overtime for the second game, and Montreal again takes it in overtime. And then the third game happened. Montreal scored first. It was 1-0 with 7 minutes remaining in the third. Ottawa tied it up with like 5.5 minutes. And then they scored with about 3 minutes left. The charge against Montreal. And they took game 3. So right now the series is 2-1. They are currently playing tomorrow, if I am not mistaken. I personally want Montreal to win. But
no, really.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of the debacle in the household due to the fact that the missus wants Ottawa to win. Because they have a resident Saskatoon girl on the team.
Okay, fair enough.
I told her, I was like, you know what? That is a fair enough answer.
Yeah,
it's better than why are you voting for Vegas? Because they're sparkly.
Which is a true reason that she has given us.
So I was okay with that. Now talking about the PWHL, I'm gonna veer away from the actual play.
Yeah.
Expansion.
Ooh, we all love expansion.
4 teams. They went for the 4 teams. They went San Jose, Hamilton, Detroit, Vegas.
Are those guaranteed? Are those confirmed?
Guaranteed. The PWHL has announced. Detroit, it's hockey town.
Yeah.
The only place more hockey than Detroit is Montreal. and they already have a team. They're fighting for the cup.
Yeah.
Hamilton, I don't like.
Hamlin feels. I mean, here's the thing: is I don't mind it because it's a part of Canada that doesn't have a lot for sports teams. So you, as a sort of smaller league and sort of like a newer league, kind of expanding there, it's good business because you get to those people first.
I understand. But you have Calgary and Edmonton and Winnipeg. You also have Quebec City, and you had Halifax, who was the best place in their tour that they did. 2 sold out crowds in Halifax. I don't understand how Halifax did not get a team.
It entirely depends on the business that was done behind the
I understand.
behind the curtains, right? Like
I understand.
Halifax probably just didn't put enough of a bid in, right? That's just how it goes.
It's some bogus, but whatever. Vegas, we all saw that one coming.
Yeah.
San Jose, the missus was confused.
Really?
She's like, San Jose, why? Look at the Sharks. The Sharks are in the ups right now. Everybody in San Jose is getting in it. They're like, oh yeah, Sharks. Oh yeah. Why wouldn't you put a PWHL team right there? They're loyal, they're energetic, and their NHL team is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Add another hockey team for them to be energetic about. Now, the colors that they've given San Jose last time I checked was orange and blue.
That's a bit of a risky color scheme.
Detroit was black and white.
Okay, yeah, very stock
Hamilton
standard.
was yellow and white.
I mean, yeah, kind of following after the Tiger Cats.
And then Vegas was, I think, gold and black. But I don't know if they're going to stick with those colors.
It's like I understand why they go with those colors because Vegas Golden Knights and other things like that. But at the same time, differentiate yourself a little bit.
Yeah, San Jose.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much everything I have on the PWHL.
I'm excited for the PWHL because especially
they're doing good.
Well, they're doing really good. This expansion is going to be really good for them, and it's going to lead to more expansion.
Yeah.
And if
they're going to 8 to 12 teams, that's enough to make 2 conferences.
Yeah, 2 conferences of 6, and 2 divisions per conference of 3
you
teams.
can go from like 2 rounds of playoff to 3. You can do top 3 goes, which one of each side get a bye into the second round, and then you just
lots and lots of options. And I think that another round of expansion isn't too far.
No,
because this is what their 3rd season, and they're already expanding.
Third season. They're playing their 3rd season now.
Yes,
so the start of next year would be the 4th, and since they have started, they've already added 6 teams.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's another expansion by 2030.
Oh, way before.
Yeah, if not 2028, which would be really fun because they've also, with the fact that they're expanding to a place like Halifax, they've shown willingness to explore cities in Canada, which is always the thing that I worry about North American leagues, is that they have a tendency to kind of
forget Canada.
Yeah, they have a tendency to shy away from Canada, which fair enough, high population discrepancy, and you want to go where sort of the money of the people are, but at the same time, I'm really glad that they're willing to look north.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, speaking about playoffs, I think it's time we move on to the NBA.
Oh, there's some funky playoffs.
There is some weird stuff. So I'm gonna kind of report this stuff backwards a little bit. So right now we have made it to our conference finals matchups.
Yeah.
And in the Eastern Conference, we have New York against Cleveland. So for those of you who have been keeping up with the playoffs and whatnot, that means Cleveland beat Detroit in the end. I'm gonna explore a bit more about that in just a second. On the West side, we have OKC against San Antonio, which is to be expected. I mean, it's the 1st and 2nd seed.
Yeah.
That series is going to be crazy. It is going to be absolutely nuts. Now, San Antonio, to get there, had to beat Minnesota. That was the series that you and I... That was the conference semifinal series that you and I were most interested in. San Antonio won it in 6 games.
Yep.
Minnesota was very competitive. They made the series 2-2, and then San Antonio quite comfortably won games 5 and game 6.
Yeah, they won by like 20 plus.
Game 5 was 126-97. Wembanyama had 27 points and 17 rebounds and 3 blocks. Anthony Edwards did have 20 points. Minnesota really struggled to shoot the ball. They shot 39% from the field and 27% from 3.
Not
So
gonna win a lot of games with that.
Yeah, they just didn't make their shots. Game 6, San Antonio won 139-109. High scoring game. Stephen Castle at 32 points. Anthony Edwards did have 24 points. And it's like I feel bad for Minnesota because they were playing heavily injured. Because Anthony Edwards was still recovering from that knee injury. Dante DiVincenzo never returned because of it was a ruptured Achilles. In Game 6, though, Minnesota took care of the basketball very well. They only turned the ball over 5 times, which is quite impressive when the average turnovers for a team is about 12. San Antonio did, however, out-rebound Minnesota. They had 60 rebounds to Minnesota's 29. So the amount of defensive possession and just extra offensive time that San Antonio got, it added up, obviously. So San Antonio wins that 4-2. Now, the Detroit-Cleveland series, this was a really funky one.
That's an understatement.
So Detroit jumped out to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
And we all thought, okay, series is over. Detroit has figured it out.
Bring out the broom.
They went to Game 7 with Orlando, which they shouldn't have, but they've survived. And now they're like, okay, this is how we play basketball. Cleveland goes and wins Game 3 and 4 to tie it up.
You know what Cleveland is making me think of right now?
Mm-hmm.
Montreal.
Yeah, a little bit, because we'll get into it. I'll give you guys a bit of a spoiler. Cleveland is now 2 Game 7s in as well, going into the conference finals. So Cleveland wins Game 5 in overtime. It's 117-113. James Harden had 30 points. Cade Cunningham had 39 points and 9 assists. So it was not due to lack of effort by Cade Cunningham in Game 5. The biggest discrepancy, however, is that Cleveland had 38 free throw attempts, while Detroit only had 20. So slightly biased whistle, I think. Game 6, Detroit comes back and kind of stomps it a little bit, 115-94, 21-point win. Cunningham had 21 points, 8 assists. He did have 7 turnovers, which is not pretty. James Harden had 23 points, 8 turnovers. Cleveland, again, had more free throw attempts. It was 30-19 this game. So, little odd.
I sort of feel like they should maybe change that.
The way the rule book is written right now for how fouls are called and whatnot, if a player is really good at manipulating how things look, they just get the call. Like, that's just the
Just look at SGA.
Exactly. Detroit in Game 6 did shoot very well, though. They went 52% from the field and 44% from 3.
So they're solid.
And now you're thinking, okay, close Game 5, Detroit comfortably wins Game 6. It'll be a good Game 7, right? Nice and close. I know I'm the blowout guy from my rugby segment, but I didn't realize that it would bleed into this. Cleveland wins Game 7, 125-94.
Triple digits to double digits.
Yeah. Donovan Mitchell had 26 points. Evan Mobley, what a fantastic game for those who watched it. He played very well. He had 21 points and 12 rebounds. The highest scoring player for the Detroit Pistons was Dennis Jenkins with 17 points.
Yeah, that's right.
Was their highest score. Detroit shot 35% from the field and 31% from 3. Cleveland had 9 more rebounds and 15 more free throw attempts.
Again, the free throw attempts.
Cleveland just outplayed them. Just straight up. I think Cleveland was up by nearly 30 points at a time. At one point in time.
Well, they won by 31.
Oh, wow. Look at that. My math is mathing. Now, the conference finals. New York and Cleveland play their Game 1 tonight, as a matter of fact. I think they're already playing.
Yeah.
For those of you who watched San Antonio and OKC's game 1, that game felt like a game 7. The energy in that building was game 7. The stakes that the players seemed to play with felt like game 7. This game went to double overtime.
Am I reading that number right?
You are reading those numbers correctly. San Antonio wins 122 to 115. And you know what? I'll Wemby. I'll let you read his stats.
41 points. 24 rebounds?
Yeah. Wembanyama went for 40 points and 20 rebounds in game 1. He played like the alien that he is. Dylan Harper, one of the Spurs' rookies, went for 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 steals, which is a fantastic game. And then you look at Wemby. Alex Caruso for the Thunder had 31 points. He shot 8 of 14 from 3. Would have been a great game. Was a great game. You look at Wemby. SGA, 24 points. Not bad. He only shot 7 of 23 from the field, though. So a tough shooting night for him. San Antonio, largely in part due to Wemby's 24 rebounds, was plus 21 rebounds in the game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay.
I'm really excited to see how that series progresses because, like I said, that game 1 felt like a game 7. I watched the last quarter and both overtimes for that game, and I felt like this series was ending.
First sweep.
Yeah. Yep, New York, Cleveland, they play tonight, so we'll report on that score next week. Now, a few other things did come out this week from the NBA. SGA got the MVP award. It is his second in a row, and looking at the regular season, it was kind of expected. It was between him, Doncic, and Jokic. And, Thunder were the best team in the league. He was the best player in the best team in the league. It makes sense.
We had a whole conversation about this a couple episodes ago. So.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't mind it. A Canadian wins MVP, So I'm not angry about it. One thing I do want to talk a bit about is go back to the Detroit Pistons. And it's interesting because Cade Cunningham had a great playoffs. He was fantastic. Tobias Harris was also a great player these playoffs. He played so well, he was their second leading scorer. The guy that was probably the main cause why Detroit is out already is Jalen Duren, who was supposed to be their second best player. He averaged, I think, something like 8 fewer points per game than he did in the regular season and 3 fewer rebounds per game than he did in the regular season. He genuinely fell off when going from the regular season to the postseason. His shooting numbers were atrocious. I mean, he was a guy who shot 61% from the field during the regular season, and I think he dropped below 50% during the playoffs. From the free-throw line, he was not a bad free-throw shooter, sort of shooting low to mid-70s, but he shot 60% from the free-throw line in the playoffs. So your second, your second main guy, your Cade Cunningham's running mate, just, for lack of a better term, shit the bed. He did not show up to play. And I watched some of the games, and the commentators, they tried to defend him sometimes and kind of went, yeah, but, he's making impact plays that don't show up, in the box numbers. And that while that is true, at the end of the day, the box numbers tell 90% of the story. And 90% of the story says that he was a non-factor.
Some players are just not built for playoffs.
Yeah. And Detroit they're still a young team. They are going to be a good team for years. So I don't expect that if they continue to make the playoffs that he's going to continue to play this bad. But for whatever reason, he just didn't show up in the playoffs. And now Detroit's out. So we're down to the 4 teams: New York, Cleveland, OKC, San Antonio. Um, any 4 of them could win at this rate. Cleveland is really looking to win because James Harden and Donovan Mitchell really want that first championship of their careers, and Cleveland's also, looking for a championship post LeBron. New York has the longest active championship drought in the NBA. They haven't won a championship since '73. So it's been a while. It's been a while. And New York fans are crazy fans as is.
Do you want to know which sport is the longest after that I know?
Mm.
The Leafs.
That makes sense.
At 67.
Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. But Knicks fans are they are your typical crazy New York Knicks fans, but they are also some of the most loyal fans, which is so weird to say. So there are some Knicks fans, like you got your Spike Lees and whatnot, who have been cheering for this team for decades and have just been waiting for them to get anywhere close to a championship, and they've got a real shot this year.
You know what I just realized by saying that?
Oh?
Next year marks the 60th year of the Maple Leafs not getting a cup.
Ooh, momentous. Momentous. San Antonio, they really want to win the championship, obviously, but
I think Wemby with that performance.
Wemby is so committed to this sport. He is so good for the future of this league. But it's they're post Greg Popovich.
It'd be really scary is if they find a way to get Greek Freak.
What's funny about that? I'm going to get a little sidetracked here. I'm going to humor your little comment there. I think the Toronto Raptors could actually put together a package for the Greek Freak. I think they could actually do it and go out and get him.
No way.
Yeah.
Do we have the assets?
I'll get back to that in a second. I just want to finish up this little bit. So San Antonio wants to win the championship, obviously. Wemby, he's super young. They want to get back into the sort of the winning spotlight. It's been almost a decade since they were there. And OKC obviously looking to go back to back. Now, Toronto trying to get Giannis. So I was looking at the Toronto Raptors roster.
Is this like the comment I made about Montreal could potentially get McDavid because we have all the assets without damage in our future?
Yes, but to a lesser extent.
Okay.
So the only untouchables on the Toronto Raptors right now is Scotty Barnes and Colin Murray-Boyles.
Yes, you can't touch them.
No, they are genuinely untouchables.
Because if you touch them, you ruin your whole future.
Yeah. Anybody else on this team? Now, mind you, I love all the guys on the team, and it always hurts to see a guy go. But anybody else on that team?
Is it really gonna hurt if you get a Greek Freak?
No, exactly. Right, you put into a package to get Giannis. Right, you're already looking to get rid of Jakob Poeltl because he's not giving you much, and he's a really terrible contract. No guarantee that Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, or Brandon Ingram are long-term pieces that you want to keep around.
Yeah, but also Barrett has made it very openly that he want to play. That Raptors could use that to maybe give him a little bit of a pay cut.
Yeah, but again, that's in a couple of years from now because he's still got, I think, 3 years on his contract. But you look at the Raptors bench and at some of their young players, they have young players who are bright spots in the sense of they all have potential, just maybe not with the Raptors. Grady Dick's going into his 3rd year. He still has a lot of potential and a lot of wiggle room to get better. Jamal Shed, I want the Raptors to keep, but he showed that he is a young player that will blossom at some point. You could throw that out there. Jacoby Walter is a guy who came to play in the playoffs, another young player. So when you said that the Montreal Canadiens could make a package for like a McDavid or something without compromising their team foundation, you could say that really confidently because if you look at all the players on the Canadiens team, even if you were to get rid of a number of their top guys, you still keep sort of 70% of the core anyways.
Yeah.
With the Raptors, it's a bit more you'd have to give up, and you can really only keep about 40 to 50% of the core, but you're willing to make that sacrifice for a guy like Giannis. You bring him on, you keep Scotty Barnes and Colin Murray-Boyles, and you just build around that.
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy. It's very doable, especially with Giannis being very vocal about wanting out.
I'm still surprised he wasn't traded.
Exactly. But that's all I really have on the NBA right now. So moving to the MLB, the Jays had a solid week. I want to say they went
3 for 3,
3-3 in this past week. 3 wins, 3 losses. May 12th, it was a 7-6 loss against Tampa Bay. The Jays did have a 5-run 7th inning.
Yeah.
And this one did go to extras. It was 5-5 going into the 10th inning. Tampa scored 2 runs. Toronto could only manage 1. Ernie Clement went 2 for 4. And George Springer went 2 for 5 and had an RBI. So
Springer's slowly getting back to where he should be.
He's figuring it out. May 13th, 5-3 win over Tampa. This game was tied 1-1 going into extras. Tampa scored 2 runs, and then Dalton Varsho
said, "Hold my beer."
Said, "Hold my beer and watch this," and sends a walk-off grand slam to win this game.
Yep.
It was his only hit of the game. But did he make it
Don't
count?
ask you how many, they ask you how.
Exactly. Dylan Cease on the mound pitched great for Toronto. In 7 innings, he had 9 strikeouts and only 1 earned run.
I love that the Jays went for him. He is a strikeout machine.
Oh yeah, and we'll get back to that actually. May 15th, the Jays lose 3-2 to Detroit. Trey Savage was the starting pitcher for this game. He went 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, and only 2 earned runs. So
I feel like the only reason we didn't win this game is because the Toronto Bats just didn't give you Savage any support.
Oh goodness no. Toronto went 5 for 27 in their at bats. So tough outing. But again, a 1-run loss. Close. We'd rather have the win, but at least competitive.
Yeah.
May 16th, a 2-1 win over Detroit. Pinango, one of your favorite guys because you can't seem to figure out how to say his name over there.
It says Pinango.
Pinango went 2 for 4 and had a home run. And Dalton Varsho, bring up his name again. He went 2 for 3 and had the game-winning single in the 10th inning in extras. This is now two wins in a row where Dalton Varsho walks it off.
I swear this guy just waits till the 10th and says, "Hold my beer, I got this."
He's got the clutch gene. May 17th, we do lose 4-1 to Detroit. Kevin Gossman, 6 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 0 earned runs.
You mean win 4-1?
Yes, win 4-1. My bad. Gossman, 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. So technically our number 1 guy, but him and Cease are kind of our flip-flopping 1-2.
Ace B.
Literally. Dalton Varsho, 2 for 3. He had a triple in this game, and he ran in twice. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went 2 for 4, and he finally got his 3rd home run of the season.
It's looking good.
Last night, May 18th, another close one. A 7-6 loss to the Yankees. Ernie Clement, he was 1 for 3. He had a home run and 4 RBIs. His home run was a 3-run homer, and then his final RBI was on a fielder's choice. So technically not a hit, but he essentially a sac fly of sorts. George Springer, he was 2 for 5, but he did have a home run. Now, the unfortunate thing about this game is that the Yankees had a 4-run 7th inning. So the Yankees were up 7-5 going into the top of the ninth, and the Blue Jays were only able to get one run. Kind of shot themselves in the foot, but again, a close loss kind of hurts because it's a divisional rival and just a rival in general.
The Yankees lose.
The Yankees lose, but not this time apparently. Upcoming Jays schedule is the final 3 games against the Yankees in the 4-game series. So they played tonight, did lose, again by 1 run. They play the Yankees tomorrow night, and then on the 21st. The 22nd, 23rd, and 24th is against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then the 25th, 26th, and 27th is against the Miami Marlins. Now, a couple of player stats I want to bring up is, again, Vladdy's 3rd home run of the year.
I just want him to start pounding.
I hope this is a sign of things to come. I hope that this is...
I just need ding.
Yeah,
ding,
I really hope this is okay, he's figured it out. He's going to have his 30 or 40 home runs this year. I really hope. Dylan Cease, as of last night, is up to 75 strikeouts on the year.
I think he got 9 today, so he'd be up at 84.
So before tonight, he was at 75 strikeouts for I think 9 games. So he's averaging nearly 9 strikeouts in each appearance.
Yeah.
Before tonight, he pitched, I think it was 52 and 2/3 innings with 75 strikeouts. So absolutely insane numbers from him. Trey Savage, in 4 games, all 4 starts, he only has an ERA of 1.4. He's got 19 and 1/3 innings pitched and 21 strikeouts. This kid is going to be good. I know we've been saying it this whole time.
Ace B, Ace C.
That this kid is good, especially once he really gets into the groove.
Yeah.
Jeff Hoffman is a guy that we've kind of been in the negative with. We haven't really liked him that much recently, but here's some interesting stats from him. So he's pitched 20 and 1/3 innings this year. He has 35 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So his Ks per 9 innings is 15.5, which is the best on the team, which is what you would hope from your, relief pitchers, closer kind of positions. Here's the issue. He's given up 29 hits and has an ERA of 5.75. So he's striking guys out, but they're also getting hits off of him. So he's got the stuff. He's always had the stuff. He just needs to clean up the non-strikeouts.
He's being Palpatine.
Yeah. Ernie Clement has 13 doubles on the season.
That's crazy.
The next closest on the team are Jimenez and Vladdy with 7 each.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, but that's all I got for the MLB. Some fun stats to keep you guys educated and having some fun. So I'll give it off to Miggy for the MLS.
Oh, we got more than the MLS.
You got more? What do you mean there's more?
There's more. There's always more. More. Anyways, so a lot of games for the MLS this week. There was some on Wednesday, some on Saturday, and then some on Sunday. They combined for like 20 games.
Jesus.
Charlotte against New York City. New York took that 1-0 tight game. Now, I'm used to like 3-1s, 2-2s, 1-0, 0-0s. Cincinnati lost against Miami 5-3.
It's a lot of goals.
That's 8 goals. That's not the normal,
No.
Chicago won against DC 3-1. Montreal and Portland tied at 2. New England lost against Nashville 3-0. Nashville keeps showing their dominance this year. They're the top of the standings, and they keep showing everybody why. Red Bull New York won 3-2 against Columbus. Orlando won 4-3 against Philly.
7-goal game.
Yeah, Dallas lost against Vancouver 3-2. Hey, you can have a Vancouver.
No, Vancouver team won.
Kansas City won 3-1 against LA. Minnesota lost against Colorado 1-0. St. Louis won against LAFC 2-1. Real Salt Lake City closed Houston to a 3-0 win. San Diego showing why they're also top dog to Austin to a 5-0 win.
Jeez.
And then Seattle winning against San Jose 3-2. Now we go on Saturday, May 16th. Montreal loses 2-0 to Chicago. Charlotte wins 3-1 against Toronto. DC and St. Louis are tied at 1. New England wins against Minnesota 2-1. Red Bull and New York, so Battle of New York, tied at 1. Orlando, Atlanta, tied at 1. Philly, Columbus, tied at 1.
It's a lot of draws.
Austin and Kansas. Kansas takes it 2-1. Houston takes it 1-0 over Vancouver.
You just had my hopes up.
Seattle wins against nothing because they lost against LA.
Yeah, I suppose
2-0.
winning against nothing is considered a loss.
Yep. Salt Lake lost 2-0 because they won 2-1. I'm doing awesome.
Read your notes.
San Diego tied against Cincinnati at 3. And San Jose loses 2-3 to Dallas. And then Sunday, only 2 games. Miami beats Portland 2-0. And Nashville again shows that they are king against LAFC, winning 3-2.
It's a lot of games from this past week.
Oh, yeah. Next week, shorter week. Tuesday, you got the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals as well as Wednesday. So that is Orlando versus Atlanta at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. St. Louis versus Houston at 6 p.m. Central Time. And then on Wednesday, you have Columbus versus New York City at 5:30 Central Time. And Colorado versus San Jose at 8 p.m. Central Time. Now we go back to the regular schedule season. Saturday, we have St. Louis playing Austin at 12:45, which is such a weird time. And then Minnesota plays against Salt Lake at 2:30. And then Charlotte plays New England. Cincinnati plays Orlando. DC plays Montreal, all at 5:30. It keeps going.
There's still more?
Charlotte plays Toronto. Kansas City plays...
Chicago plays Toronto.
What did I say?
Charlotte.
Oh, my bad. Chicago plays Toronto. Kansas City plays Red Bull New York. Nashville plays New York City, all at 6:30. There's more. Colorado plays Dallas. Portland plays San Jose at 7:30. Oh,
That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it.
LA plays Houston at 8:30. If you like 30, today's your day.
Wait, that's gotta be it, right?
Sunday.
Okay, so that's it for Saturday.
Yeah, Sunday there's 3 games. Columbus, Atlanta at 3.
Okay.
Miami at Philly, 5. And LAFC at Seattle at 7.
Oh wow. The schedulers actually allowing us the time to watch all 3 games if we wanted to. Instead of having to jump back and forth between 4 games at 5:30.
Oh, 4 at 5:30, 3 at 6:30, 2 at 7:30, 1 at 8:30. I think they just goes by priority.
I suppose so.
Yeah, they are still like within the early starts of their seasons. Nashville, San Diego, Vancouver are top of the league, and they keep showing everybody why they are. They keep winning all these games. Some of them are not even close. So
Winners win.
Winners win. Winners win. Now, I've added a couple of others to our lovely roster. The Canadian Premier League. You're going to love this. 8 games.
Perfect.
Actually, 4 games. 8 teams.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. So, Halifax Wanderers are playing Inter Toronto at 1 on the 23rd. The Vancouver FC are playing the Supra de Quebec at 4 on the 23rd. And then on the 24th, you have Atletico Ottawa that is playing Forge.
Just Forge.
Just Forge.
No, like host city or
No.
Okay.
Then you have Cavalry playing Pacific.
What? Okay.
Here are the standings, and I'm going to go from bottom to top on this one.
Okay.
Pacific, 1 point.
They're
Vancouver
on the board.
They're on the board. It's not zero.
Vancouver FC, 4 points. Halifax Wanderers, 5 points. Supra de Quebec, 6 points. Atletico Ottawa, 7 points. Inter Toronto, 11 points. Calgary, 14 points. Forge, 16 points.
So we've got Pacific with just 1 point, and then we go Vancouver 4, and then we just go up by 1 point, right? Halifax with 5, Super Quebec with 6, they go Ottawa with 7. So like kind of close. And then you want to tell me that there's a 4-point jump?
Yeah.
To Toronto's 11? And then Forge and Calvary are just up at the top with 16 and 14, just kind of sit. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The two that don't really have a
city.
owner, I guess, in the tense of city is like Forge and Calvary. That's kind of dope names, honestly.
They're just
And
killing
the
it.
Forge's logo is actually pretty cool.
Huh. I'll have to look it up.
Now, the Northern Super League. My missus has been bugging me and you to cover this for like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I told her I would. And it's actually quite interesting. Their website is easy to navigate, let me tell you. It's like you click 2 buttons, standings. 1 button, stats. 1 other button, schedule. It's not like that website where you were struggling for like a week trying to find standings.
So for CPL, I figured something out. Forge's host city is Hamilton, Ontario.
Huh.
So it's the Hamilton Forge. Okay.
That would explain why their logo has an H in it.
Yeah. There we go.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Now,
And Cavalry is Calgary.
I feel like I could have bet money on that.
yeah.
That feels like a you should just know.
Yeah.
All right.
Shit.
Oh well.
May 23rd for the Northern Super League. Ottawa's playing Montreal at 11 a.m. our time. Vancouver's playing Toronto at 2 p.m. our time. I just looked at the standings and you're going to cry. Calgary and Halifax are playing at 5 on May 24th. Now, the reason I'm saying you're
Those
gonna
are
cry,
the standings.
yeah. Montreal's
No.
Montreal's at 10 points. Ottawa's at 9. Toronto's at 4. Halifax at 4. Calgary at 1. And Vancouver at 0.
They're not even there. They're not even on the board.
Now, also, the only reason why Vancouver has the Pacific has a point is because they have a draw in the Canadian Premier League. Now, the National Women's Soccer League. A little bigger. They have 16 teams. Wednesday, May 20th. So tomorrow, we have Houston playing San Diego, Portland playing Bay, LA playing KC. On the 22nd, we have Boston versus Seattle. Saturday, we have Louisville versus North Carolina, Utah versus Denver, Houston versus LA. On the 24th, we have KC versus Portland, Bay versus Chicago, and San Diego versus Orlando. Portland must just have this big hockey base because, like, I know they have a basketball.
Hockey base. Dude, we're talking about soccer.
Soccer, sorry, but I know they have a basketball team.
Yeah, Portland Oilers.
But, like, they don't really have any other teams.
Not particularly,
And
no.
so far, I've called Portland twice in these 3 leagues.
Maybe they're just a soccer city.
Maybe. Now the standings. This one is a little closer for you, but I'm gonna go down up. Chicago with 6.
Mhm.
Louisville with 7. Boston with 9. Houston with 10. Tied with LA at 10 as well. Now, Seattle, Bay, and Orlando, all at 11. North Carolina, Denver, 12. Kansas City, 15. Gotham FC, what a name, at 18. Tied with Washington at 18 as well. And then Utah and Portland are both tied at 20, and San Diego with 21. Now, what I find funny is in the top 5, San Diego has the lowest goal differential.
You want to talk about low goal differential? How in the world does Chicago have 6 points with a goal differential of negative 18?
Well, they're last.
You want to talk?
Yeah, how do they have points?
You talking about points? Look at Kansas City's goal differential.
Yeah, -1 in their middle of the pack. I'm still stuck on the -18. The next closest negative is Boston with -6.
How about LA with 3 at 12?
Yeah, that's again. That's okay. So teams are winning big and losing big.
Basically, at this rate, either that or winning big and losing small,
Yeah.
or losing small and losing big and winning small.
Yeah.
A tongue twister at this rate.
Yeah.
But that is all for our roster for our Northern
They're winning and
American
losing.
soccer.
They're winning and losing at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just purgatory. It's all it is.
Now, for the last couple of weeks, Chris has been kind of amping up towards this moment.
I have been salivating. This league has finally started. The CEBL, the Canadian Elite Basketball League, has finally started.
The Sybil.
The Sybil has finally started. So, with the start of a season, I will reintroduce us all to all of the teams that are participating. We have the Brampton Honey Badgers, the Scarborough Shooting Stars, the Ottawa Blackjacks, Montreal Alliance, and the Niagara River Lions. We have the Winnipeg Sea Bears, the Edmonton Stingers, Vancouver Bandits, Calgary Surge, and our Saskatoon Mamba, rebranded from the Rattlers. So obviously, we're going to be focusing a lot more on the Mamba than anything, kind of like how we're focusing on the Blue Jays and the MLB. One thing I do want to explain about this league is that it's not like the NBA or typical basketball leagues where you have just your full 4 quarters. Once the time is up, the winner is whoever has the most points. So the way that the CEBL does it is that they have a target score rule. Now, the way this works is that we still have our 4 quarters, but once we get into our 4th quarter, the first stoppage at or after the 4 minutes remaining mark in the 4th quarter, once we get to that stoppage, the game clock will be turned off, and in its place will be a target score. So instead of teams just playing until time runs out, the teams will be playing until one of the teams reaches this target score.
So the last quarter can be like 30 minutes long.
The last quarter can be 30 minutes long, but what this does create is that there's always a game-winning shot. There's always a final shot. The winning team cannot just slow the ball down and let the time run out.
Yep.
Right? They have to get to a certain score.
Okay.
This score is equal to the leading team's current points plus 9 at the time of the stoppage. So if we get to 4 minutes left in the 4th quarter and one team is up, 75 to 63, that target score will then be 84. And then it's just whoever gets to 84 points first wins.
It's original. I like it.
Yeah, so it allows for comebacks. It allows for the fact that the last basket will always be entertaining because there's always a game-winning basket. Now, for the Saskatoon Mamba, this is what the roster looks like right now. We have Devontae Bandu, who's a guard. We have Jaden Bediako, who's a center. We have Trey Townsend, who's a forward. Jamal Fuller, a guard. Marcus Harding, a center. DeJuan Gordon, a guard. Jameer Chaplin, another guard. Kareem Main, a guard. Jalen Williams, a forward. And Tavion Dunn Martin, who's a guard. and who is probably one of the shorter players in the league at 5'8".
I'm taller than him.
And that's saying something.
Hey, I'm 5'9 3/4.
Yeah, taller than 5'8".
Yeah.
The Mamba had 2 games this past week. They played May 14th. They lost 124-95 against Vancouver. John Gordon did have 20 points. Jalen Williams had 14 points and 8 rebounds. Mamba also played on the 16th. They did, however, lose 108-96, so a bit closer. It was against Winnipeg. Tavian Dunbarton, our scrappy 5'8" guard, had 30 points and 8 assists.
Oh, yeah.
So, solid, not so solid start to the year. 2 losses isn't great, but it's a new season, lots of possibility, and I'm very excited for basketball a bit closer to home.
We're going to have to find a way to go to one of these games.
I would really like to go to some of those games.
And I was looking at their jerseys. I'm not a big basketball guy, but like they look kind of sweet.
The color scheme is very, very nice.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a very dark, like a very, very dark gray with this kind of dark neon purple.
Yeah.
It's actually really, really nice. But CBL has started. It's another league that we're going to be speaking about going forward in our North American segment. Now, going back to some leagues that we have spoken to lengths at, or rather we've had in all of our episodes, but just haven't had much to speak of, the CFL and the NFL. Now, the CFL is in their preseason.
Yeah, and the Riders' comeback came just a little short.
Yep.
All said and done, it was a tight game. But Rough Riders just couldn't bring it back. They were down 17-6 after the third.
Yeesh.
So they did bring it back some sort, but they just couldn't finish the job. Now, just listen to these stats, because it was a close game. Total plays, except for this one, actually. Saskatoon had 59 to Calgary's 45.
Okay.
Now, total yards, 329 for Saskatchewan, 325 for Calgary. Close. Passing yards, 248 for Riders, 222 for Stampeders. Rushing yards, 104 Riders, 112 Stampeders.
Very, very close.
Exactly. Even the first downs, 21 Riders, 16 Stampeders. So this was like a tightly contested game. It's just that Calgary came on top. So it is still just preseason. Now, Saskatoon, I keep saying Saskatoon, I mean Saskatchewan, but I'm just going to say Riders from now on.
There we go. Make it easy on yourself.
Had 4 penalties, which, not a lot.
Oh, that's a very disciplined game of football.
Calgary had 9.
So more than double?
Yeah.
All right.
So maybe it's a show that this year Riders are more on the discipline side.
I wouldn't think too much about it or consider too much from one preseason game.
So that's pretty much it I have for CFL. Preseason, second week starts next week.
Yeah, it starts this coming week. So yeah, because that was the only preseason game from last week. So we're really getting into it. It'll be extra exciting once we finally get to the regular season. Now over to the NFL. Speaking of schedules, every team's schedule has been released.
Now, just to do you the favor, we can start with this Super Bowl champions.
You know what? Sure. I will humbly accept such an honor.
Now, we're not doing preseason. Let's just do regular season.
Yeah, we'll do the games that matter. Bless you.
Thank you.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. You guys started off with the New England Patriots.
So the team that we beat in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems poetic.
And then you guys hit the Cardinals.
Who were the bottom of our division last year.
And then the Commanders.
Okay.
And then you get a little bit of a...
Oh, we get a spark?
You get Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
and then you better shape up.
Yeah.
You get the 49ers,
Oh,
Broncos,
Yeah, strong team.
the Chiefs,
Yep.
then a little bit on the sloop,
Okay. Okay.
Bears,
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Slow
they're
down
hit
a
or
little bit.
miss,
Yeah.
Cardinals,
Okay.
Raiders,
Yeah.
and you guys have a Week 11 bye, which you get hit then with the 49ers.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
I do not like. I
You
do
get
not
an
like having
easier
a rest
matchup,
week.
and then you get a rest, and then you get the 49ers.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's scary. I don't
But
know.
after the 49ers, you have the Cowboys and the Giants.
Okay, so
After that, your last easy game is the Panthers in Week 17. Week 15, you get the Eagles. And week 16 and 18, you get the Rams.
Ooh, we get to end our season against you.
Twice.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun couple of weeks.
Yeah, so
It's a tough schedule, all through and through.
You guys have one of the tougher schedules.
But I mean, that's to be expected
Yeah.
after winning Super Bowl.
Now the Rams. We start the year off with the 49ers.
Ooh,
And then Giants. Okay.
Yeah, take it.
And then Broncos, Eagles, Bills.
Wow, that's a slate. That's a gauntlet.
But then, they're going to give us a slight break. Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, Commanders, Cardinals, and then a bye.
Okay, so really winding you down into the rest of it.
Yeah. So, which is week 11 like you.
Yeah.
I could see the Rams 7-3 going into this bye.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get the Packers, which are going to be sort of a hit or miss depending on how their draft goes and how their players have erupted.
Yeah.
And then
then it gets a little tough for
week
you.
13 and 14 is going to be rough. We get the Chiefs and the 49ers.
Ooh,
Week 15, we get the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And then we get Seahawks, Buccaneers, and Seahawks. So the two Seahawks game is going to be like, ooh. And then the Buccaneers could be a ooh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that these two teams have, top 5 hardest schedules. I mean, you have a Super Bowl winner. You also have a conference finalist, and the two teams who played in the game that most would have considered the real Super Bowl, anyways. So, but
saying it, Rams go 12-5.
I think they're. Ooh, I feel like you're underestimating your team there a little bit.
I gotta give Seattle one game, and I gotta give San Francisco one game, and I gotta give Kansas City one game. We played Kansas twice.
Oh, that's true. But I mean, even then.
And then we have Broncos, Eagles, and Bills. So I say 12-5, but I said earlier that we would go 7-3 before our bye.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the Rams could very easily go either 12-5 or 14-3. Like, I feel like they end up somewhere in there.
And then the the Seahawks.
It's kind of a similar story.
12-5.
Yeah.
Actually, just because you guys have like a hell of a week, like having 49ers, Broncos, Chiefs back to back to back, you could very well drop all 3 of those games, but you could also win them all.
Right. Because that's the thing about football, is because you're only playing one game a week, right? Like, you can have tough opponents in a row, but it's not like a nightly back-to-back thing, right? There's always that time. So Rams and Seahawks are both looking like anywhere between 12-5 and 15-2. Like, anywhere between there is almost all equally as
I'll be
likely.
more than happy with double-digit wins, because that'll probably get us in the playoffs.
Well, yeah. But again, it'll be another case of just that division being a 3-team division that likely sends all of them to the playoffs, and then the Cardinals.
Yeah, for sure.
Which Is to be expected, but
Now, to go to football's older cousin?
older cousin.
Older cousin.
Rugby? Is it older than football?
Yeah.
Well, whether or not rugby is older than football, the MLR
I don't
is
know.
still
Jay
there.
said it was older than football.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't always trust Jay's information.
It's older than hand egg. I know that for sure.
You mean football.
Hand egg.
You mean football.
I refuse to call it that.
Well, too bad. It's football.
Okay, children.
Anyways, so the MLR had their 3 games this week. 6 teams, 3 games. Saturday, May 16th, it was the Legion against Chicago. Chicago remains undefeated. They win 36-26.
When are they playing New England next?
That's a good question. I will get to that in just a moment, sir.
Not bad. I'll go
It's
back
not-
to my corner.
This past Sunday, it was Seattle against Anthem. Seattle wins 57-21. So there's our blow up for the MLR. And then Old Glory and New England have a really tight game. So DC wins 24-23. A genuinely close game in rugby, which is great.
Jay, last time I checked, rugby was the blow-up corner.
We're still not in the international portion yet. And we still haven't seen the scores for the Chicago game.
That's true. So you wanted to know when Chicago played who again?
New England?
New England. Let's see. I will use my spike. So they play New England on June 7th.
We need to find a way to watch that game.
So
I must witness this blowout.
we're a couple weeks out. But speaking of blowout, it is still a 1-team league. Chicago is still first. They have a perfect 7-0 record. Your 2 seeds, Seattle Seawolves, are 4-3.
Yikes.
And then you've got your California Legion, Old Glory DC at 3-4, New England Free Jacks at 2-5, Anthem RC at 2-5.
This is literally the Western Conference.
Yeah, the NHL Western Conference. That's just all the MLRs. Chicago's point difference goes up. It's at 152 now.
Huh?
Their point differential is larger than if you took New England's and Anthem's differential and shoved them together. So New England's got a differential of -64, and Anthem's got a differential of -82. Combined, they are -146.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago Hounds, I mean, obviously opposite direction, have a larger differential than those 2 teams combined.
Okay.
It is a 1-team league, and it will continue to be a 1-team league. And honestly, I would not be surprised if Chicago's still undefeated when they face New England. But New England's going to win that game.
Oh, yeah.
I feel it in my bones.
Proper rugby underdogs.
Proper rugby. Now, with that being said, I think we've covered just about everything that you can cover in North American sports.
It was a long one today.
NLL is done. I think the finals between who was it, The Rock and I don't even remember who were in the lacrosse finals at the moment right now. But that has concluded. Any of the sort of minor league hockey, they've all concluded. They're kind of into their
Memorial Cup. For the
yeah.
top 3 and then the hosting town.
Yeah. So we're most of the North American sports is just our NBA and NHL playoffs. MLB's getting into midseason form, and we're just waiting for football.
Yeah.
We are just waiting for football. But without further ado, I think that wraps it up for our first episode of this week, boys.
All right.
Let's spin the track.